Okay, we have 5 minutes to talk about all of systems research in MOC. It's impossible, so come look for us if you want to find out details, but we're going to give you a really high-level view. So we talked about all the kinds of infrastructure in many other talks. I'm just going to mention two that haven't come up very much. We have mobile infrastructure because we're interconnected to the Coliseum testbed, which is a very large mobile testbed, and it spans US and international sites. So if you're interested in anything with edge, anything with mobile, talk to us. We have that, and we're very interested in the cross connects between them. We also have a lot of specialized hardware, and it sits in the CODES lab. And we don't talk about that too much because it's not part of the production stuff, but if you're interested in RISC-V or ARM or special purpose things for factories, anything like that, please come talk to us. Okay, so this talk is about back to the future. That's because a lot of the systems research we've been doing for 5 years, we're still doing. And we started thinking about how it compares to the movies. So first of all, we're building systems instead of DeLoreans. These are bullet points of the things that we're doing that are important and continue to be important. So connecting all the eras of test beds. You've heard here several people who do test beds. They're hard to interconnect. We figure out how to do that. If you have new ones, we'd like to hear about it. We're starting to look at sustainability and power usage. So like the DeLorean, we have a limit on how much power we want to use. We also want to go faster than 88 miles an hour. So anything with high-speed networks, we have an interconnection to the fabric network, which can go at 1.2 terabits. So we're really looking for ways to stress that. That's an exciting new thing. Whoops, sorry, I went too fast. Getting data and compute together, that's been mentioned multiple times. A particular area that we really would like to emphasize here is data privacy, because once you interconnect data and compute anywhere, if you don't take care of the privacy of the data that's there and the access to it, you're not going to have machine learning that's able to do very much interesting stuff. So that's a new area. Edge core I've mentioned, and software development. Basically, it's the Mr. Fusion of this whole thing. So if you're interested in software development, we'd love to have contributors. Please join us. And Mike's going to talk about 2 examples.
How many minutes do I have left? 2. Okay. In 2 minutes, I will tell you the rest of it. So,
That's more than you asked.
6 minutes. Okay, take a deep breath. So, that's fantastic. So, what I love about the MOC Alliance is this ecosystem we have, and I think that really is part of the systems research, because we're just not doing it. Where's Michael Datesman? He said professors in the ivory tower, right? Oran is like pushing us all. It has to be production, it has to work on the production. And so we're getting to this point where we come up with crazy ideas, can try them out in part of our test beds, but then get them in production. And we saw the CRIS project yesterday with this wonderful projects and work they're doing in the medical field and all this stuff. And I think where the potential of our systems research is really shown well through some of these examples here and all the different projects that are involved in that. And you probably know Oran is going a little bit faster than 88 miles per hour, so I always have a hard time keeping up. So if there's something not accurate on this slide and a little outdated, I apologize for that. So that's important. And I just want to give you one example, because I've been really heavily involved in that in the Open Cloud test bed. We've been really heavy on deploying FPGAs and making them available to the research community. And I think that is something which hopefully in 2 or 3 years we stay here and say, we have this in production, right? You can go over to NERC and you can get an accelerator and do AI on FPGAs, because it makes this thing so much better, that thing so much better. And I think that's what I think is really part of our systems research here is taking on new challenges, taking on new technologies, new ideas, and bringing them into a space where systems researchers can use them, but maybe further on, researchers from other domains and some further away applications can make use of them. So if you have some specific questions about that, please come and see me after the talk. So what's the real future, right? Our talk is back to the future, but what's into the future, right? And so one of the famous quotes from the movie is roads. We don't need roads, right? So I think what I would like everyone to think about in a moment is, or for a moment, or maybe this afternoon, what do we not need anymore in the future? Won't we have CPUs anymore at some point in time, right? Will it all be specialized accelerators? Won't we have buses anymore and everything will go over the network? These kind of things, right? So I think this is just, Heidi and my thoughts on this. But I think as a community, we can be, you're all much smarter than I am, so as a community, we can come up with what do we need for the future. I think it's going to be more AI, at least for the next, 10 years or something like this. Security has always been important, and I think there's been a lot of work happening under the MOC Alliance in this area already. Heidi put on sustainability, and we heard about sustainability a couple times already during this workshop, and I think that's important in terms of how do we look into carefully using resources for all the test beds, all the infrastructure we put in place, because I truly believe that we have to be a little bit more gentle to our planet than we have been in the past, and that's important. John and Jack, I didn't put on this quantum computing after I talked to you. Heidi can attest that I put this on a couple of days ago. So I think we're at the verge where hopefully we'll see quantum computers being able to really compute something in the future. And how do we tie this into systems, right? I don't see quantum computers just existing in isolation. They will be connected to our traditional compute systems, to networks and so on. Otherwise, they will not be of the broad use people are envisioning them. How can we have a role in that future? Probably most important is education and training, right? My joke is always, we want to retire at some point in time, right? And I'm going to be done in a second. We want to retire at some point in time, so we need to educate the young people here in the room to, come up with wonderful, great ideas and do wonderful work. And, thank God I could present with a woman, broadening participation, right? Making the room more diverse as our population is, I think, should be another goal for our future also. Thank you very much. Any questions? Oh, no discussion.